Customer Experience, episode number 30, Riffs with me, Jill Raff, where we share stories from the perspective of customer experience, but from the inside out, from employee experience to customer experience, because I am truly obsessed with employee experience, creating outstanding customer experience. And every customer deserves to have that same pampering treatment as any other celebrity. And you're a celebrity, you're there, you're special, you're there giving your business to someone. Why should you not be treated exactly the same? I believe that your restaurant, your business can increase your revenue while growing and engaging your committed and loyal employees and customers. And it does begin from the inside, which is why my proprietary process is called the Inside Out Framework, EX to CX, because I guarantee you outstanding employee experience will produce extraordinary customer experience. I want to remind everyone, if you're watching live, please join me in the conversation. Add your comments. I can see them live and we can actually talk about them. I appreciate your input. It makes it so much more interesting. And if you're watching the replay, thank you. And do the same. Please comment and tag me in your reply so we can engage and have a conversation. I want to hear your thoughts on everything that we discuss here, whether it's me talking and sharing some of the points of strategies that I think can help businesses, or whether or not I have a guest and we're interviewing a guest. So thank you for doing that. And I'll just give you a little background about me and why and how I came to being so obsessed with customer experience and leading with your people from the inside out. My parents and grandparents were early McDonald's franchisors. Their first McDonald's was store number 150, opened in Ocala, Florida in March of 1959, when McDonald's was the gold standard of the restaurant industry. Now, today, there are so many brands, sadly, that we now all experience where we've lost those connections that are created when an owner and or executive management, anyone hands-on mid-level managers are not involved anymore, and not taking care of their customers and doing whatever they needed to take care of both their employees, which is their first line customer, and their end paying customer. Due to my upbringing in the McFamily and careers across various industries, from fashion to restaurant to real estate, spanning 7 countries, that golden common thread throughout everything, which I learned as a young child, is Ray Kroc's motto of QSC and V: quality, service, cleanliness, and value. I now teach the ABCs of QSV, of course. And with this core foundation and other work that I've done, I inherently understand extraordinary customer experience, and it's because it's truly a part of my DNA. Now, I recently had an experience where I was asked to leave a review, and my brain, always tracking from a customer experience perspective, I found myself immediately and intuitively analyzing the process and what had just happened. So I want to talk today a little bit about how we ask for those reviews and those ratings, because as you know, from a past, or multiple, but for sure one episode that I did specifically on reviews and ratings, and I'm always talking about it because it comes up within every touch point, every aspect, ultimately, of customer experience and how it can benefit you. So as you know, this is so important. And I'm gonna I forgot to get this, hold on one second. I apologize. I wanted to get something to show you, which kind of prompted this idea to talk about this today. So as we all know in experience, we're often asked to leave a review, whether it's something that's written at the bottom of a receipt that says, go to this website and please leave a review here. Sometimes I find that the employees don't even point it out. And I don't know about you, but when I get a receipt, I usually look to see if it's something I need. If I've paid with credit card, I don't need that receipt anymore because I have a record of it. I crunch it up and it's in the trash. So first and foremost, I think as an employee or as an owner, as a manager, you need to train your people to point that out to someone. Now, this happened in my experience today, but it was how it was done that I thought was a little bit interesting. So we've all experienced the bottom of the receipt examples, or sometimes if you're in a restaurant or any other business, people will just ask you to do it. I've even been places where they've handed me the iPad and said, while you're here, would you please leave a review or, give us your thoughts. And the key thing that we're going to talk about a little bit later is before you hand over that iPad, where your review is going to go out to the world, quite literally on the internet, you want to make sure it's a good review. And so we'll get to how we do that and how we think about that. So I want to talk first about what led me to talk about this. I'm going to cover the name, but let me just actually move this over to make sure I can see what you're seeing. There we go. So I recently went to FedEx to drop off a box. And in this case, really all I needed to do, I had the printed receipt. All I needed to do was go drop the box off with the paid, not the receipt, sorry, the paid mailing address, shipping label, and they taped it up and off it went. So not a lot of engagement, but she was very friendly and she said, I'll take care of it. And she taped it up. And then as I left, because there was nothing to be paid, it was a prepaid label, she hands me this coupon and says, if you could please leave a review, I'd appreciate it. Here is, she circled, here's the location that gives the code of where it was. And you can just put your phone on the barcode and it'll bring you to your phone where you can leave a review. And if I get 6, I forget the number, if I get 6 reviews by the end of this month, then I get a free lunch. So I thought, that's really interesting. The incentive was not for something to benefit the customer. It was to incentivize her getting them so she could get a free meal. Now, I thought this was kind of interesting because I think the point of a review is, yes, to give feedback to the business about what's going on, but it shouldn't be about benefiting the employee. It should be about how we give great service, a great experience, how we benefit our customers. And, it's interesting because often the incentives are often discounts for your customers, a free food item if it's a restaurant, membership points if it's a part of something from a pharmacy or any sort of a membership program, whether it's a yogurt place, you name it. And excuse me, what I thought was interesting was that at the end of the day, when I got home and found myself actually looking at this because of my intrigue, it says here, we listen, tell us how we're doing, and get a coupon for $5 off a print order of $30. Complete the survey at. So when she gave me this coupon, she didn't point out the benefits to me as a customer. She didn't say, oh, we'd love for you to fill this out, and if you do, you will get the $5 off. Instead, what she said to me is, if you fill this out and I get enough other people to do so, then I get a free meal. So now as a customer, not only am I hearing the message of, this is not to benefit you, it's just me, but now we have the weight of us being responsible for the employee getting a free meal. Now, originally, my thought was, I want to help her get a free meal. I'm caring, I'm compassionate, and if I can do something small to help her out, everyone needs a little help all the time, but especially now with the pandemic and the havoc that it's caused. And so personally, I'm okay with that. But the customer experience strategist in me couldn't help but think about the fact that the burden of her getting a free meal shouldn't be laid on my conscience. And while that's a great benefit for the employee, we need to stress the benefit for the customer first. And whether you want your customers, I'm sorry, whether you want they are your customers, your first line customer, whether you want your employees telling your customers, if you do this for me, I'll get something out of it. I think the better approach is, here's what we can do for you. And one of the things that I like to use is my full background, and I think that's the benefit and the value add that I bring to the table, is that I have experience across multiple industries and multiple countries, 3 continents. And so with that comes an intuitive perspective of having lived through and understanding other cultures, the way they look at things, how they do things, and with my training, what kind of behaviors come from that. And so my real estate training kind of popped into my brain when I saw this happening, because in my real estate training, we were taught, of course, to ask for testimonials, ask for reviews, ask for ratings, but not because it's going to benefit me. It was approached in this way. We would say, do you feel you could give me a 5-star rating as the beginning of the ask? If so, could you please go here, make it easy for them? That's the key part. Less friction points for the customer, make it easy, give them the exact link. If it's an email, a text, whatever it is, all they have to do is touch it. Provide them step-by-step instructions. If it's something else they have to go through, say on LinkedIn. But first you've got to ask, have you earned that review? Do you qualify for it? Do you feel you could give this to me? And if, excuse me, if not, then figure out what is it that you have to do. Ask, if you feel you could give me a 5-star review, then please go here, etc. Or have I earned your 5-star review at Yelp or Glassdoor, whatever the review site is, even if it's on the end of your receipt. And so when you ask that question, you're letting them know, I'm still in this. Like, before we get to the end of your meal, before we get to the end of our engagement together, before we get to the end of our contract, I want to make sure I'm on target for getting your great 5-star review. And if not, then tell me now. I want to know, what do I need to do to change to make it right? Where did I mess up, or where did I fall short? Maybe it's not even messing up. Maybe they had higher expectations than you've delivered. And again, this goes back to the early steps of my Inside Out framework, where the expectations would have been made very clear on both sides and held accountable to those. So had you done that right from the beginning, you probably wouldn't be getting to this point where you're misfiring and falling short on the expectations. But let's just say that happened. It does happen, right? We're all human. Sometimes things, even if expectations are set, sometimes things just fall through the cracks. So if that happened, then, I think the thing to say is, if I haven't met your expectations, and if you don't feel I've earned your 5-star review, then before you leave and before we move further in our business together, how can I make it right? How can I earn your 5-star review and rating? And I think this is what's really important, because it's not just about, asking for something that's not warranted so the employee or the business owner can be the ones that benefit. They're the ones who are there to serve you. And like, with what happened here, there wasn't a lot that she really needed to do for me, but and that's why I'm going to do it. I haven't had time yet, but I am going to do it because I do want to help her. And she was pleasant and she was very nice, and she, greeted me, and when I arrived and when I left, and while she was helping me, it was very pleasant. But I think it's important that we recognize that it should not be about the customer. I'm sorry, it should not be about the employee benefiting. It should be about the customer benefiting and getting what they deserve from the very beginning. They should get that celebrity customer experience. Like I talked about in the beginning, it's not about the employee. So I would love to know your thoughts on this, any insight, any input that you have. And, I feel free to tag me. Feel free to reach out to me directly. I've got my contact information now up on the screen. Check out my website and see what other services and ways that maybe I can help you. If this resonated and you feel like you want to dive deeper for your business, excuse me, I'm happy to do that. And, reach out to discuss how you can increase your reviews and ratings, both to benefit and help your business grow from referrals and repeat customers, not only from that, but also by having it happen organically. Something that would happen naturally by word of mouth, or today by the click of a finger. You're just one click away from having great things happen at a large scale, or not such great things. And so you want to catch it before that happens. And it won't cost you much at all, but will bring you massive value and increase revenue and market share as a result of that. So I'm going to just post also a gift from me if you want to double your Yelp reviews. And it doesn't, this particular document was created, it says Yelp review, but you could insert any other review app or platform that you want. If you want to review, if you want to double your 5-star ratings in 10 days, then I am offering you this free gift, which will give you some ideas and guide you through a few things to think about and how you can do that. Now, I go deeper into this, of course, in my course, the Confident Customers Through Customer Experience. And if you're interested in that, knowing more about that, I'm happy to share that with you. Please reach out to me. But in the meantime, I'm very happy to share with you how you can double your restaurant's or business 5-star ratings in 10 days. So, please take advantage of that. Reach out to me. Let's talk about how we can be intentional with how we get those great reviews and ratings. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Celebrity Customer Experience, episode number 31 next week. Thank you.